Welcome to Rooted, from Wildflower, Rooted and Reckless, the podcast where Angela Walker, an ordinary woman with mustard seed faith, invites you to dig deep into the mountain-moving love of God through Bible studies and meditations hand-picked for the busy bees of the world.
Welcome to Rooted, a part of Wildflower, Rooted and Reckless podcast. Rooted is where we dig down into the soils of God, into that foundation of God. And, well, to be perfectly honest with you, I need accountability and structure and direction and directives. And it is just so hard to get everybody together in this day and age. I know that's terrible, but it's true. And so technology has kind of given us the opportunity to do that. So very much like Wildflower, I wasn't exactly sure how to kick this off and get started with the first episode. So I had my friend chat, make me a few questions. Gonna go through that a little bit. When did faith first become personal for you? I don't remember not believing in God, to be honest with you. I don't remember a certain time in which I started believing in God, if that makes sense. God was just always was for me. I've just always had a certain tie to God. We were not a religious family. We didn't spend every Sunday in church. I have no idea why. There's not anything I can remember in my life that shaped this belief. It just has always been. What have you unlearned about God that changed everything? A lot. I've unlearned a lot, and I have to unlearn every day, especially that I don't have to collect points. Like, I don't have to collect brownie points for God. That's even hard to say. I don't have to perform for God, I guess. Gosh, those are hard things to say. I still unlearn those every day. What scripture or story in the Bible wrecked you in a good way? Okay. Bathsheba. So if you're not familiar with the story of Bathsheba, don't quote me, but she took a bath on the rooftop, and the king saw her and was like, bring her to me. And they hooked up, and she had a husband. And then the king sent the husband out to war where he surely be, and he was. And it just changed my perspective. Like, the king was still kept. They were still loved. It wasn't so on the nose as those without sin cast the first stone. I think maybe it was just one of the first stories I remember really reading and thinking whoa, how do you wrestle with God and still remain rooted in him? Oh man, that's like a whole season. I think that, just like everybody else, I'm human and I get angry and I just let it out. I yell at God. I have full-on conversations with God. I mean, I let him know. I'll be yelling and throwing up hands and all the things, and I stay rooted in him because I guess I just trust and I have faith and I respect that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Even when I have a hard time seeing that, even when I am angry about it or don't think I want to be there, there's just this underlying part of me that it's that mustard seed faith, I have faith of sometimes the tiniest mustard seed you've ever seen in your life, that I am exactly right where I'm supposed to be. I'm going through right what I'm supposed to be going through, and everything is happening just as it's supposed to. And I think the way I remember that is through Jesus's crucifixion. God knew, Jesus knew how that was going to end. And everything had to happen just as it did for it to end the way it did. And that is with an eternal salvation. It doesn't get any better than that. So that's my goal, is eternal salvation. I'm down with that. Hopefully it's not through crucifixion, but again, I'm just trusting God. I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting just trusting and having faith in mustard seeds, and he's moving mountains, and everything's fine. We're going to be fine. Where have you seen God in the most unexpected places? I don't know. I think that maybe everywhere God shows up, because I'm, for some reason, never expecting it. Hoping for it, but not necessarily expecting it. What does rooted mean for you right now? I just keep envisioning like roots just digging down, like digging down, really grabbing onto that soil, and then rooting out as well, going wide. And so that's just all I can envision is roots going deep. So that is what rooted means for me right now. So for the next 7 weeks, this episode makes 8 weeks, we are going to be working through Ruth Chou Simons' When Strivings Cease. This is what it's going to look like. Okay. But here's the thing. The paper was like slipping around. It was kind of bothering me. So this is what it looks like without the paper, and it's gorgeous. So basically, from what I'm gathering, this is 6 sessions where we're learning that we don't have to perform or earn God's grace. What do you know? That is what drew me to it, and it's something that I need in my life, and I hope that it resonates and relates to you. October 14th, Ruth Chou Simons actually has a new book coming out called The Way of the Wildflower. Of course, I've pre-ordered mine. That's actually where I wanted to start, but I didn't want to delay anymore. I was afraid that if I put this off any longer, it might not ever start. So I needed somewhere to start, and I ended up finding this study that she does. She has a study guide and then also streaming video that I believe you can stream right on YouTube if you want to get the book and study guide to follow along. I also have my massive Bible. I love this Bible. This Bible actually has 4 versions in it, all side by side. So we've got the New International Version, the King James Version, the New American Standard Bible, and the Amplified Bible. Some of it's just weird, honestly, but it's fine. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this first episode of Rooted, a part of the larger Wildflower Rooted and Reckless podcast. I am Angela Walker, and we will see you next week.
You've been listening to a Wildflower Rooted and Reckless podcast production with Angela Walker. Catch Wildflower drops on Tuesdays, Rooted on Wednesdays, and Reckless on Thursdays. Subscribe wherever you listen. Stay wild, stay rooted, stay reckless.